Is it the thong or you know this? Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Do you know it takes around 500 to thousands of years for a menstrual pad to biodegrade? I mean, they never go away. Find out in this video why and how I reduced 1,000 pieces of plastic in 2.5 months. So, reusable pads. It's not the first time I talk about it. I'll link a picture of my blog post either here or here. And I do know that you probably find it disgusting, except it's not. There are a lot of other options out there, for example, using cups, tampons, or Binks, which is a period absorbing underwear. But in this video, I just really wanted to focus on reusable pads because I think that it is an option that is easiest for people to switch to. A little disclaimer here, now I don't use reusable pads during days when I have super heavy flow. I know you can, but right now I'm just using it on days when I have lighter flow or to replace the usual panty liners. I mean, this is what I'm comfortable in doing, and maybe in the future I'll try using cups, but right now this is what I'm doing and that's pretty much it. So I've bought two sizes from Delightfully Green. I know you can buy another brand probably elsewhere, but I just bought it because of convenience. I just randomly saw it online and I bought them. This is a smaller size that's used to replace my normal panty liners, and this is a larger one that I use on days when I have lighter flow. But the materials that they use are the same. So this is the inside with the patterns, and this is the outside with the logo. Now there are two buttons here which allows you to, button it and then fix it on your underwear. To show you, it's not as thick as you think it is. Now if I can zoom properly, yeah, right here. It's not super thick. I mean, it's probably thinner than some of the pads that you're using. I was first interested in exploring whether I can switch to reusable pads because, all this talk about no plastic, and here I am in the toilet using layers and layers of plastics and throwing them away every single day. I think we can all agree that these menstrual pads, when you throw them in the bin, it goes to the landfill, they are never really going to go away. Imagine like one pieces of this menstrual pads, it contains 5 plastic, and I use around 5 per day during days of my flow, meaning 5 days in a month. It's 125 per month. On days when I don't have my period, I use panty liners, and that's 1 piece of plastic plus the pad, which is another plastic, that is 2. And I use it 5 times a day, 20 days a month. If I do the math, it will be 200. So adding up, I'm using 375 pieces of plastics in a month. Like, there's 12 months in a year. The second reason why I use reusable pad is because I like to know what it's made of. I mean, the stuff that I put down there next to my mui mui, I really need to know what that thing is made of. Now let me ask you a quick question. Do you know what menstrual pads are made of? Like, I can give you the packaging. I've looked and there's nothing. You can see, oh, it's made of cotton, it must contain plastic. What is the plastic? Is it plastic number 1, number 2, number 5? I have no idea. And there are articles saying that pads or tampons releases toxic chemicals, hormonal disruptors, or skin irritants. Now the thing is, let's pretend that all these are bullshit. What matters isn't about whether it contains these toxic chemicals. The problem is I don't know how to verify or judge whether they contain those toxic chemicals. So the reusable pads that I own right now, it's from a brand called EcoBB. I hope I've pronounced the brand name correctly. I think the top and the bottom is made with organic cotton, and inside there is a waterproof polyester lining that helps to prevent leakage. It's not completely plastic free, but it's much better than using many disposable plastics every single day, multiple times a day. Another good reason for using reusable pads is that they're super convenient to use. Now I don't have to tear off multiple layers of plastic and then gather them and putting them in a bin that is usually right behind me. Like I have to twist my bag and then just put it, or I have to reach for that bin really far away. Now whenever you make a purchase, from Delightfully Green, it comes with a set of 3, and it comes with this bag, which is, I don't know if you can see, it's waterproof. There's a plastic lining. So when you're done with your reusable pad, you need to change it, you simply like fold it and button it and then just dump it in a bag, zip it, and that's how you change your pads. I mean, have you ever noticed that all the adhesive that's usually in the back of the menstrual pad, every single time you put them on your panties, when you tear them apart, you're basically stretching your underwear. I mean, sometimes I notice that the adhesive never really goes away even after wash. I mean, sometimes I have to pull it really hard in order to separate the two. And the thing is, it's just not good to my underwear, especially I spent a fortune on them. One of the most common thing that people say about reusable pads is that they're not hygienic. I mean, actually it's no different from washing your underwear or clothes. If you believe that your clothes are clean or your panties are clean after washing them, why do you think that the reusable pads are not clean after washing them? So it's just something that I can never really understand. So now that we've talked about the pros, of course, there are cons of using reusable pads. The first thing being, it can get quite stuffy during summer. Now the thing to note is that it is made with organic cotton. So cotton is much more breathable than your normal conventional pads, which are made of plastic. The second thing is, you really have to have a upfront investment in order to try it out. Now I recommend buying a few sets of 3. Like I use 5 a day, so I would think that 15 pads per week is more reasonable because then you can wash and change them. The third thing is you need to figure out a drying schedule because you need to dry them in order to reuse them. The fourth thing is you cannot wear it with tea bags because I don't know how you call this area, like how this area. So this part, it's so skinny that the reusable pad can't stay in place. And lastly, if your underwear is super loose, then of course it will slide. But if your underwear is so loose, then I recommend you getting a new one. So these are the reasons why I choose to use reusable pads. I hope you like this video, find the tips useful. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!